The variety of nocturnal experience. Kent, Copenhagen. Oh, were all men wise and willing to be good, earth would be a paradise for them. Now it is often hell. The surface of a canal at night resembles nothingness. I have never seen anything in the real world so perfectly flat as this. It is not even like the night sky, which appears deep and suggestive of another world, seductive. Many look upward at the night sky and wonder what those stars may signify, why they gradually alter their position week by week and return precisely to the same place a year later. We speculate on what might inhabit the moon. No such wonder is cast upon the surface of canal at night. No sounds are made here as by rivers, nor do ripples disturb it. No lantern is raised to illuminate it. No ducks or swans trouble the meditation of this surface, nor do stars, nor passers-by, no leaves, no winds, nor even the smell of boiled potatoes. Such silence is rare, in which nothing seems to occur, in which moving things do not collide with other moving things, dodging all possibilities of collision. Though it is not absolute silence, one may approach it through this near perfection as though an antechamber. Silence of the outer world. It is not what we imagine during the day, amidst noise and light. I oppose the common conceit that light affords us a transparent view of the world and thereby grants us knowledge. The most visible things may well be the most deceptive. They seem dressed in garments too readily deciphered, as though their very clarity were a disguise. The prime example of this is the blue sky of day. These days I wonder whether the most terrifying thing may offer the greatest comfort. To capture it, that has become my principal endeavor. It captured me once, some days ago. That night I had not eaten sufficiently, and hunger cast me into a singular condition of mind. When that occurred, I wrote. A tragedy. I hate all that I have known for being known. My wet nurse must have instructed me, when I was an infant, always to wear clothes, as though that were the means by which a man becomes a man, casting off the animal features of humanity. Behold me now, standing entirely naked, exposed to the boundless darkness of the universe, and still I remain a human being, utterly and irrevocably so. The moon revolves, the Mars revolves, the moon of Saturn revolves, the sun revolves, and beyond those distant stars lie other galaxies farther still. Yet all of them may be known only by me. This man, a mere point in space. Laughter escapes my mouth. I alone, in the world, seem privy to this truth, and how real it feels. I am the only man who can laugh at it. And the reality I felt was gone, yet a wound abides within my mind, a mark that it once penetrated me. It drives me to confront that same reality again. It is now my turn to capture it. But how? I have already ceased to use words to describe it after countless attempts. What other means remain? It was a night like this. nights. Such opportunities are granted to us when we are permitted to glimpse what lies behind the veil. Yet men at night concern themselves with little beyond sleep, theft, assassination, or carnal indulgence. While they are literate, I will publish a book on the manner of living wisely. I will entitle it Treatise on Nocturnal Life. In such a work, addressing unknown cohorts of readers, I will proclaim that we must transform our being, our society, and our science into something more nocturnal. I will cry aloud that we squander immense opportunities to learn from the night. No lights shall be lit at night, for they deceive us into mistaking night for day. Forms shall not be conceived as they are in daylight. Noises shall not be made without necessity, for they disturb our meditation upon truth. Through certain practices which I will prescribe, we should become another kind of being, yet no patronage would ever be extended to such a book. Thus it remains confined to imagination. I possess two mouths. With one I preach oldness. With the other I confess old-notness. And indeed, old-notness appears the more real, for it consists in what should not have occurred, yet has nevertheless occurred. And for that reason we can do nothing but acknowledge it, unwillingly and in disgrace, with the expression of one who feigns ignorance of its existence. I reflect that many things are the opposite of what we imagine them to be, and in many cases, things exist precisely where we suppose they do not. Here is one example of old-notness. I am almost persuaded that nothing exists, contrary to our belief that everything exists, for we cannot conceive of anything that does not exist, whether in the physical or in the mental realm. The surface of the canal instructs me thus. Look, nothing appears when I gaze into it. Am I facing the water? The cool air and my sense of balance inform me that I lean forward, craning my neck toward it. My hands tremble as they grip the edge of the rod. Would the passerby find my posture strange? Yet what is present here? Cool air, balance, tension in trembling muscles, the coldness of stone. And what else? Nothing exists. That is what they would find while they looked into the night. Smell, algae, mud, and a trace of iron. There may be human bodies at the bottom of the canal, folded, piled, decaying, sinking. They once walked this road arrogantly in old age. All were swallowed by water and returned to matter. Was I raised from such mud, invisible, silent mud, and suddenly turned to cry? Another example of old-notness. Human beings may not be brought forth entirely without love. O God, if thou existest, permit me to say this, though I know there is none in authority to grant permission. Hesitantly, I say it. We were born not in love, but in mud, and I am the man who proved it. Observe how freely one may speak at night. This is the advantage of nocturnal life. I conducted an experiment upon the process of human creation. My intention was to ensure that not the slightest affection should accompany the creation of the human being. I contrived numerous methods to kindle the spark of life, from above, from below, from behind, in combination, all at once or in measured portions, poured over time, directed afar or near, to the side or to the center, twisted or straight. At times, I soaked beforehand in hot water, at times in cold, at times hot to the right and cold to the left, and then the reverse. And lastly, this seemed perhaps the most decisive variable, whether to inflame myself or remain cool when the wave reached its summit. I chose the latter, of course, to confirm my hypothesis, like the surface of the night canal, being nothing. And then, listen, a sound begins to echo from somewhere as distant as Mars, or perhaps from just behind me. A small house stands facing the canal. From it issues a groan, though no light escapes its windows. The house, therefore, stands not in sight but sound. The groan resembles that of a wounded soldier. I have seen such men before. Some have died in my presence. Their death once shook my heart, as this groan now stirs the water, yet only briefly, a tremor that skims the surface. I told them I would remember them as long as I lived, for their posthumous honor. I do indeed remember each one. But how can a man take comfort in being remembered when his body lies stiff in death? Thus I concluded that love is not essential to human birth. Dead bodies might perhaps even reproduce, were all conditions arranged. Dead bodies are not embraced in love. Therefore, if dead bodies are part of nature, love is not the governing principle of nature. There, a new life is soon to enter the world of light. The groaning grows louder. It will soon be time for me to return to that world and welcome him or her. Welcome, welcome, from your long journey through mud and water, through fragrant, sour, warm, wet flesh. Well done. You have fashioned your own bones and organs, though your mother aided you much. For that alone you deserve my embrace. There exists a rumor, beloved of the credulous, that certain shadowed magicians replicate themselves with the clumsy hands of amateur sculptors, clay, and spells. They claim that such replicas perform physical acts as their creators command, once enchanted. They are thoughtless and unconscious, yet move without strings, resembling human beings acting of their own will. It is curious, yet it sounds merely like an imitation of what God performs in us. The essential element is lacking. They cannot bestow a soul. I do not know how a soul is bestowed, yet we observe its formation in a child. The body accomplishes what learned magicians cannot. Therefore, you should be accounted worthy on that account alone. As I am proud of you, my child. I must go. I must witness the moment when one life becomes two. I shall bring a candle to observe the subject beneath the light of reason. The light will return me to the world of illumination, the world filled with false intelligence.